Electrification and electric propulsion and electrified boats are here.
It would be an innovation born from necessity for us. My name is Chad Strader. We're at a non-profit working waterfront facility in Yarmouth, Maine. Working waterfront is part of Maine's identity, I feel like. When you think about Maine, you think about the rugged coastline and the people who make a living from the sea.
The term working waterfront is definitely a really powerful one. It encompasses the fact that a lot of people turn to the water in a sense of recreation and kind of maybe passive enjoyment.
Working waterfront can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. And essentially, we just need a space to make a living. As the industry has changed, the use of the property has changed, and we've turned it into an aquaculture innovation working waterfront space. With the rising price of real estate and waterfront real estate, people have moved in that want to build beautiful homes, and that doesn't necessarily mesh well with the people who need to make the living from the ocean.
My name is Willie Leathers, and I am a co-owner of Maine Ocean Farms, and we're here in South Freeport, Maine, right along the Heron River, which is where we operate our aquaculture farm, focusing on the cultivation of oysters. Casco Bay, where we are, is a really established stronghold in Maine of both the current output and the potential future growth and capacity. There's a lot of operators here, from oysters to clams, mussels, scallops, kelp, urchins.
Leah Morris, I'm a Senior Community Development Officer at the Island Institute. Born and raised in a boatyard in Southwest Harbor, Maine. My dad was a boat builder and kind of left city life behind back in the 70s. I oversee what we currently call sort of our marine decarbonization programs, and specifically thinking about how do we support marine-related businesses to make energy transitions, and really in the name of business profitability over the long term and sustainability.
Gulf of Maine is one of the fastest forming bodies of water in the world, as I understand.
The energy markets are at a global scale, and businesses are trying to endure at a hyper-local scale. So what are the solutions that we can bring that would remove some of that instability? If you couple wanting to look at the emissions picture and how Maine's working coastline can contribute to reducing emissions, with also, again, sort of the global energy markets and the instability there, it seems like you should be able to come to a win-win if you can find the solutions.
In this space that we've helped create, we have the aquaculture industry. We're looking at what they do as well, and we can kind of see a lot of parallels in what we're trying to do and they're trying to do, and the equipment that can be used.
People are innovating and kind of pushing the boundaries of what's possible in terms of trying new things and seeing what that yields, both for a crop and what the market yield is in terms of does the product I have fetch the value I want, and what does the consumption look like? The decision to kind of jump in and do this pilot project with electric propulsion really stretches back to our desire to always be looking ahead and trying to push the boundary of innovation and how that fits with our operations and efficiencies. Heron is our newly built 100% electric aluminum landing craft. We chose Heron as a name for a few reasons. One, we felt like it needed something that was just kind of a solid, strong name. Us taking our boat from this pier and driving out is just like taking the tractor out of the barn and heading to the field.
You need the right tools to do the job. You can't be out there farming for potatoes in a tractor from 1982 and expect to be efficient. So developing tools that make sense for efficiency for Maine farmers, sea farmers, is kind of what we're doing.
Aquaculture is we feel pretty strongly that it's a suitable use case. A nearer term, but also over the longer term, kind of the direction we're going, it's almost writing the case studies, right? It is putting the qualitative and quantitative data on paper and presenting the solution so that people can see how they can replicate it.
So we built this boat and designed it specifically for electric propulsion. We can go really fast for a short distance. We can go really slow for a long distance. And it really works for what we do with it. And we're letting farmers use it to see how it could work for them. So it's really a demonstration model.
That long game of how do we basically set the table for the infrastructure to allow businesses to affordably adopt this technology, should it make sense for their business, know that they can reliably charge it, and then like how can they finance it?
Seasonality is a big bit of this, application of trying to figure out how electrification will fit in, and there's a lot of question marks. What is built in that will be year-round, or what do we know is a limitation? And we have a lot to figure out with that. It may have a cutoff, and we may say, when we reach a certain temperature threshold, that's the end of seasonal operation for this boat, at least for now.
But they're going to push the envelopes of the technology, and there's a big commercial market around the world. So it's exciting to me that Maine and Maine Ocean Farms, boatyards, that these people are testing the technology for the commercial applications and kind of elevating the needs and identifying kind of the weak points, showing where it is great and works, but what are the weak points that need to be modified to, again, really tap into the commercial market and have people continue to feel more confident.
It's the chicken and the egg problem. What comes first? You put a charger in and there's nobody to use it, or you have a bunch of boats waiting to charge, but then nobody wants to invest in the boats because there's nowhere to charge it.
I think there are a lot of complicated questions, and again, I don't think it's unique to Maine, it's any rural area, but complicated questions and conversations that with the utilities and the rural municipalities that are going to have to be solved for.
I've seen a need for changing the way we work in the water and the tools that we use. And that's kind of what has driven this forward from my perspective.
I don't know, Mainers are scrappy and, rural context people figure out how to make things work.